Hi, and welcome to Deep Six Wrestling. I'm your host, Just Pat, and this is another episode of 5 Matches to Watch, the show in which I break down 5 matches that happened this past week and give you my personal recommendations. Now, while these aren't star ratings, these are the 5 matches from the past week, Thursday to Thursday, that I think you should check out the most. The only rule is that there can only be one match per show, so not an entire New Japan card, not an entire NXT card. You get the gist. So, with that being said, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more content from Deep Six Wrestling, and let's get into the list. Up first on this week's list is from last night's NXT episode. It's Drew Gulak versus Kushida, and these two guys had a really good match. This is the second time these two have made the list together. Gulak has been on every edition of this, and I feel like that's just a testament to the year that Gulak is having in WWE, 205 Live, and NXT now. Now, this match was a submission match. It was longer than their previous encounter back 2 weeks ago on NXT, and it was really, really good stuff. It wasn't as long as I was expecting it to be, and personally, I would have much rather had this match on a takeover card, but these two have really good chemistry, you know? Drew Gulak is definitely one of the most underrated people in the WWE at this time, across all rosters, in my opinion. And I really think that Kushida's doing well so far since getting brought in. Time will tell how he fares if he makes it to main roster. There's a good chance he ends up like Nakamura does, or he can, form his own path. We'll see. But this match was really solid, and again, I'm not really the biggest, I don't know, like, I enjoy it, but I'm not like the biggest submission guy. But Gulak always provides a lot of really good matches, and these two just have great chemistry together, top to bottom. Their styles mesh really well together, and it just feels so natural when they're in the ring together. Gulak had this really, really nice gory special that he put on and was bending Kushida's arms into each other, and it looked just gnarly, but really good stuff. I really can't complain about these two together. Again, when you're putting on the level of matches that they're having on TV, and they're just really short sprints that don't really even feel like sprints, it's really good, and again, Gulak's having an incredible year, and him and Kushida, I really hope that they get a takeover match at some point, probably Toronto. Don't know if it's going to happen, but I can hold out hope, What else happened? There was a bunch of, they traded these roll-ups. It was a submission match, and like the roll-up thing didn't really make sense, but they were saying that they were just trying to one-up each other, but it felt really nice, and it was nice and fluid, and if this was a regular match, that would have just made a lot of sense. But here it was kind of just, I'm showing off that I'm better than you, and then they both went for ankle locks following it, which again, that makes more sense. Both of those looked really good, and their strikes, Kushida's always had good strikes, from New Japan. You kind of got to work that strong style, and Gulak, I think, is a pretty underrated striker. Everybody goes for his technical wizardry, but Kushida and Gulak striking, definitely some underrated moves there. Gulak on this looks like it was taped before they started transitioning Gulak's character into the more darker, I don't even know what they're going with, but it works. I guess he's just a really, really pissed off guy now, who's just like really upset about all of the opportunities that he's missed out on. And he's still wearing the red, white, and blue trunks instead of just the black and the slick back hair, but you can see shades of it, and I think that's really good because it seems to be working out for him. And then, obviously, Kushida's hoverboard lock, a really, really smooth-looking submission move that I've always been a fan of since watching him in New Japan, and it's no different here. It's a really nice finisher, especially for a submission move, and can't complain. So, yeah, if you didn't watch NXT last night, definitely go check out this match at least. There's also Candice LeRae and Io Shirai versus Jessamine and Marina. That's fine. And then the Undisputed Era versus Oni and Danny Burch, and that's also worthy checking out. But if you're just choosing one match to watch, if you just have a little bit of time, Kushida versus Drew Gulak is the match to watch from last night's NXT. Coming in number 4 this week, we have Ginny and Jazzy Gabber versus Isla Dawn and Xia Brookside from NXT UK, and I'm really just putting this match on here because I feel like I need to give some more love to women's wrestling, but I don't know, the past 3 weeks there hasn't been anything that really just like blew me away or made me want to talk about it. Mia Yim versus Bianca Belair was really good, but I think I chose Gulak versus Kushida that week, and it's just that match was just a better match in my opinion. And originally on this list I had Nikki Cross versus Bayley, But then I watched NXT UK, and I chose this match because I think it was a great show. Well, it wasn't like this like incredible match that made me just like lose my mind, but I think it was a great showcase for the future of that women's division, and I guess the future women's division for the company. But Ginny's fine. I feel like I haven't seen enough of her to be like, oh, she's bad or she's great. She seems like a really solid character, at least for a heel. And Isla Dawn also, I just think she's fine. Again, I haven't really seen too much of Isla Dawn, but Xia Brookside seems like she has incredible potential as like a future babyface women's champion. And I definitely want to see more of her. But the real star in this match was Jazzy Gabert, absolutely 100%. And I feel like anybody who watched it is going to say that. Jazzy came in the Mae Young Classic, and then nothing really happened, and then she got a big neck injury, and she almost had to retire. And then earlier this year, or last year, I don't remember which, she made a surprise return to the indie scene, and then it came out at TakeOver Blackpool that she had signed to NXT UK with Kaylee Ray, and everybody was really happy about that. Now, I haven't really been watching NXT UK too religiously, but from what I can tell, Jazzy Gabert has just really debuted alongside Ginny, who they're saying like bought her services as a bodyguard, which that's fine. But this match I thought was a great showcase for her and an introduction for her if you're new to the product or have never seen Jazzy before. She comes off as this great monster heel, and it feels like I'm not trying to compare her to Nia Jax, but I feel like this is the direction you would want to go with if you're booking a monster in a women's division. You're not like being like, oh, I'm not like most girls, I'm not a plastic little princess. She's just going out there and legitimately looking different and like kicking ass, and it's great. She didn't really hit any like super impressive moves, but again, it was a really kind of quick tag match, and she just dominated the other two girls. And then they already kind of planted the seeds of dissension for her and Ginny, with Ginny like demanding to be tagged in. But definitely interested to see where Jazzy goes. I feel like her upside is incredible right now, especially with the division in NXT UK kind of just being dominated by Toni Storm. You have Rhea Ripley over there, who's also like this monster heel, but I don't really know what they're doing with her. She kind of won the title and just felt like a placeholder, and then Toni won it. Everybody's like, yeah, Toni's got it, but we'll see. I think Rhea also has incredible upside. Don't get me wrong. I love Rhea Ripley, but yeah, I think Jazzy Gabert, keep getting her name mixed up, but I think she's going to have a great career if she stays healthy, for sure. So next up, we have the 6-man tag match from Raw, and I know what that sounds like, but this week's was actually a really fun, again, I guess the word is right, but the showcase match compared to the women's match in NXT UK. The match saw the heel team made up of Bobby Lashley, Samoa Joe, and Cesaro take on the team of Braun Strowman, Ricochet, and The Miz. And it was a really solid 6-man tag match, especially for Raw and how everybody complains about 6-man tag matches on Raw specifically. This felt like a kind of a breath of fresh air, all the guys in here are really talented, even if you hate Lashley, and I understand that, people say he's a charisma vacuum, and to be fair, when he's by himself, he is a charisma vacuum, but he showed some real shades of greatness when he was with Lio Rush and prior to that in his last Impact run. And I mean, while I don't think Bobby Lashley's going to blow anybody away and win the Universal title anytime soon, I do think that the hate he gets is pretty unnecessary. He's really solid in the ring, and he's good as long as he's not being like booked over our heads and just like winning every match he's in. So it's not like he's there just taking away from good talent. And so, Bobby Lashley is probably the weakest link in this match right now, other than probably Braun Strowman, because that man's stock has just fallen completely after he should have won the title in Saudi Arabia last year, but didn't. But however, Strowman looked really, really good here. They opened the match and they had him doing kip-ups, which was, I saw the videos of him doing it at live events last year, but this is the first time I think he's done it on TV, and I really think that they should let him do that more, because it's crazy how like agile this guy is, especially with the size he is. And then they had him doing rolls in the ring, and he was just, again, Strowman came out of this looking great. Really, everybody came out of this match looking better than they went in. I think that's one of the best parts about this 6-man match. When you have 6 guys on your show, just in the middle of the show, and they're all in the mid-card, you should really just give them the opportunity to shine and show the audience what they can do. And I think they did that here to great effect, to be honest. You also had Ricochet, Ricochet's always going to be great, and Cesaro in there. Those two have made the prior two lists for this series together, and they're going to make it again with this match. Ricochet, he can't do really anything wrong, and Cesaro, for the most part, same thing. There was a big scare at the end of the match that everybody kind of thought Cesaro got injured, but from what I understand, he's okay, which is good, because Cesaro does not need to get any more injured. That man's career has really only been hampered by injuries, so good to know he's okay. Then you have The Miz, and, I love The Miz. I think he's great, but I just want to say, it really doesn't make much sense. It kind of boggles my mind that he is as over as he is. I think there's a lot to do with his character and the way he plays it, but it's just so strange to see him get the reactions he does when some other people don't. And he doesn't really do anything. Like he wrestles, but he doesn't do anything flashy. But the crowd goes crazy when he just does a hot tag, and he does the shit kicks, as everybody calls them. And obviously Brian does them better, but everybody still cheers The Miz, and it's just like, it's so strange. But like, again, I love The Miz. I don't know why. But yeah, he came out of this looking pretty good, especially after the losses to Shane. That definitely, I still don't understand. I can't understand that booking decision of why The Miz lost clean to Shane 2 times in a row. But, that's just me. And technically 3, because he lost to Shane on SmackDown, too. I don't know. And then, last but not least, there is Samoa Joe. And Joe just recently got the U.S. title back from Ray after he had to vacate it due to injury. And I don't understand this booking decision for Joe. He's supposed to be this monster heel. And like, sometimes he's been cowardly, but this man just, as soon as Strowman got in the ring, he just took his title and darted to the back. I can't justify that. Again, I don't watch Raw. I watch highlights, and then if I see a match that looks worthy, I watch the match. I don't understand why you would make Samoa Joe a cowardly heel right now. Just to have the guy dominate. It's what he does best, rather than just running away from Braun Strowman. That's definitely a no for me, but as a whole, the match was really good, especially for just a random 6-man tag in the middle of Raw. So definitely, if you didn't watch Raw, check this one out, because it's worth watching. And coming in at number 2 this week, we have the Fatal 4-Way number 1 contendership match from 205 Live this past Tuesday, which saw Oney Lorcan face off with Drew Gulak, Humberto Carrillo, and Akira Tozawa. And again, if you've been watching these videos, you know how big of a fan I am of 205 Live, big proponent of the show. And thankfully, oh my God, thankfully this crowd was into it. Even in the first match, I just want to, I'm not going to count this as another match, but Chad Gable and Jack Gallagher, good to see Gable, love the guy. It's a real shame that him and Jason Jordan didn't really get their fair share of opportunities on the main roster, and then obviously, Jordan got riddled with injuries, and I do pray that we hopefully get to see him one day again, but I don't know. So it is nice to see Chad Gable getting to do something again, and I really couldn't be happier that he's on 205 Live. This is the wrestling show for main roster, and it makes me ecstatic to see him here. Him and Gallagher had a great opening match, but it wasn't the Fatal 4-Way. This match was great. Probably the best WWE match of the week, including both NXT shows. It's phenomenal, and again, the crowd was into it from start to finish. Everybody was doing just great work. Oney Lorcan, his aggression came across just beautifully. His strikes look vicious. His dives look vicious. His face looks vicious. Again, Oney Lorcan's going to be, if booked properly, a great friggin' heel. Like, I can't stress that enough. Oney Lorcan could be a star if he gets the attention he deserves. And then you have Humberto Carrillo, who is the exact opposite. He seems like he can be a really fresh and energized and an engaging babyface. He's got a great look to him. His moveset's fantastic. I still hate his theme song, but he connects with the crowd, and I really like that. Again, he doesn't really look like a cruiserweight. He looks pretty tall, but the crowd loves him. Again, anything he did last night, he was getting cheers for, and it was great to see. And then you have Tozawa. And Tozawa, I think I said it last week for his match with Gulak, I think he really is another one of those underrated guys who, if you are just a casual fan, or even if you're a hardcore fan that you don't watch 205 regularly, you kind of just see Tozawa occasionally get these title matches on pay-per-views. And to be fair, it kind of feels like, if you're just not watching the show, it kind of feels like, who's this Tozawa guy and why is he always getting title shots? But he's great. I really can't stress that enough. Tozawa always has good matches week in, week out whenever he's on the show. His promos are funny. He connects with the crowd again, even if it's just through his ha 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 chants. Everybody just seems to like him, and it's understandable why. He's a great in-ring wrestler. He's got great charisma, and even if there's like a language barrier, people still like him, and I think that's a big testament to how incredible of a wrestler he is. He's not the best on 205 Live, and I don't hate him by any means. And I'm still a little confused on the booking decision here, but I think I know what they're doing, and that leads me into Drew Gulak. And so this is the first time, I know this show's only 3 weeks old, but it's the first time somebody's making the list twice in a week, and it goes to Gulak, and I couldn't be happier about that. Drew Gulak is one of my favorites, and I'm so happy that it's him to do this. And again, this new character they're going with him, where he's just all business. He just comes out in black trunks, the slick back hair look, which I really like on him. And he just goes to town on these guys like it's like not even his job, just like it's just, I don't even know how to describe it. The intensity in him that he has found is it's great. And again, throughout this match, he's incredible. It's the one word I can think of, incredible. Yeah, you know what? I'll say it. The match ended with a tie, kind of. They never really gave a finish here, but Gulak and Tozawa, they went up for a superplex, and then they came down and they pinned each other. I think they're going to do a triple threat at Stomping Grounds, and I think Tony Nese is going to lose his title. And I think Drew Gulak's going to finally get his Cruiserweight title run, and that makes me very happy. I think they have been booking, I don't know if it's long-term booking or if it's just by chance, but it feels like that this is the opportunity that Drew Gulak has been waiting for. This man should have been champion for it passed him by, and it sucks, but it really does feel like it's, his time, and it feels like the division is growing and they're just building up challengers for him when he gets this title. You have Oni, you have Umberto, you now have Gable, you have Gallagher, you have Nese, and then you have Tozawa, all who have history with him and who all can face him for this title. And I think that's a great, great booking move that they've done, even if unintentional, which it could be, but it also could be long-term booking. I wouldn't be shocked for 205. So if this comes true and Drew Gulak wins at Stomping Grounds, I would just like to say I predicted it right here, right now, and I can't wait to see that. And coming in at number 1 this week is Dragon Lee versus Will Ospreay from New Japan's Dominion show that happened this past Sunday. Yes, that's the one word I can say to describe this match. Yes, lots of yes. Will Ospreay is another guy, just like Drew Gulak, who is having just an absolutely incredible year. I can't put it any better than that. He's just going out there and having match after match after match that just draws everybody's attention and is like, is this a match of the year contender? Possibly. They said it with him in the Best of Super Juniors. They said it in the finals with Shingo, and now they're saying again with Dragon Lee. And I would agree with all of those statements. I think him versus Shingo is probably one of my favorite matches of the year. Definitely makes my top 3 so far. And this match was really good. I don't think it was as good as that, but it was really, really great. Probably the best match on the show. The only other match I would say probably would come up for that for me would be Taichi versus Ishii, and I know that's kind of shocking because Taichi is a polarizing wrestler, to say the least, but I think this match that he had with Ishii definitely got a lot of people talking about his ability, but also how good Ishii is, that he could carry, not even carry, but that he could get that good of a match out of Taichi. But Dragon versus Ospreay is definitely the match of the night for sure. These two just went out there and destroyed each other, and I think everybody knew that was going to happen from the time that this match got made official. So there's just, from the suicide dive onto the tables, that looked rough, but a good rough, not like a Naito Ibushi neck on the apron cringe spot that made me want to avert my eyes from the show. It looked really effective. Then you have the Canadian Destroyer, which again is a move that when used sparingly can really add to the match, and they didn't spam it here. They didn't make it look over the top and, staged, it looked like an effective Canadian destroyer. And again, I've never really seen too much of Dragon Lee. Like, I watch New Japan not too religiously as I used to, but Dragon Lee's great. Again, I haven't really seen that much of him besides like the Hiromu matches, but here I really think he made an impression on me, and I think he was really good here. The last I'd seen of him was at the G1 Supercard in New York, and he was good. He wasn't who I thought was going to win the match, but that happened in New York. But here you got Will Ospreay and him, and they had a really solid match, definitely better than that triple threat I think it was in New York. And he's really fast, really, really fluid in the ring. And I really do hope that Hiromu gets healthy soon and that these two can come back and reignite their rivalry, because I think that's just best for business, and I think everybody would be happy with that. So as long as Hiromu is 100%, I don't want him coming back early. I don't want any of that. I just want those two to have healthy, safe but very aggressive matches. Nothing like Naito Ibushi. Let's just, none of that ever again, please. But again, this match, great. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I'm assuming if you're watching this video and you're a New Japan fan, you've seen it. But if you're not, go check it out. It's not one of those. It's not really a match that feels. I don't want to say feels New Japan-y, but again, I think it's a nice entry-level match. You can watch this. You don't need to know this big story going into it. It's not like the Shingo match where it's like Shingo has a 96-0 record right now. This is just, it's just straight up wrestling, and I think it really, really benefits from that. Lastly, the Hidden Blade, ever since he really introduced that and got that move over at Wrestle Kingdom and concussing Ibushi, that man just, please be safe, Coda. But ever since he really just started doing that, I felt like this was a move that always works. And as long as it's done safely, it's one of the most effective moves in wrestling, I think. It just looks brutal every time he hits it. And then, the Os Cutter into Stormbreaker, great finish. Really I can't say that well enough. So yeah, if you haven't seen this match, go check it out. New Japan World, very cheap and worth the price. And if you enjoy that, definitely check out the rest of Dominion, though you can probably skip the main event. It wasn't that good. But that's my thoughts on Will Ospreay and Dragon Lee. And with that, it brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this list, and if you did, be sure to check out the previous videos in this series. There's 2 of them so far. Both of them are a pretty good list, if you don't mind me bragging. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe here to Deep Six Wrestling. We post content on a regular basis, and we really appreciate any love and feedback we can get. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Deep Six Wrestling. We do punishments and predictions for pay-per-views, and all that fun stuff. So yes, like, comment, subscribe again, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll be back next Thursday with another video in 5 matches to watch. Peace.